Good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, April 8th. It's just past 10 a.m. and we're going live here in Phoenix. Today we're going to update you on all the craziness that's going on, market conditions, hopefully some fun stuff, and answer a few of your questions if you decide to chime in. So stay tuned. What's up, everybody? It's Greg Corbett with the AZ Lifestyle Group right here in Phoenix, Arizona. If this is your first time to this channel and you're looking to find out everything you need to know about what it's like living in and or moving to the Phoenix metro area, make sure to hit that subscribe button and click the bell so you can be notified whenever we post a new video. We are helping people from all over when it comes to finding the best places and neighborhoods to live here, and we absolutely love it. So if you're even thinking about making a move and you need any assistance whatsoever, give us a call, send us a text, shoot us an email, however you want to get a hold of us. We got your back when it comes to moving to the Phoenix metro. All right, let's go ahead and bring in our good friend and partner, Rudy Lopez with Prime Lending. Rudy, good morning, sir. How are you, man?
Greg, doing well. How are you?
I'm good. It's been a good week. It kind of warmed up a little bit on us over Easter weekend last weekend. We potentially hit triple digits. If not, it was in the 98 to 99 zone, so that might be a little warm for me for early April. But overall, it feels like right now it feels great here, and so I can't complain.
Yeah, I think it was last Sunday where we hit 99, and according to the records, that was the highest at that point in the year that we've ever been at. The average was like 82. The previous high, which I don't remember when that was 98 degrees. Well, we hit 99. So I hope that's not a foreshadowing for some hot summers to come. However, I'm not holding my breath on that one.
Considering last year, it's pretty possible. So I know we had a record of triple digit temperatures all together last year, and we had a record for days over 110. So I'm sure you guys have heard at least me complain about it. Again, Rudy's Mr. Positive. He doesn't complain, so he likes all that stuff. Even if it bothers him a little bit, he'll still say nice things about it.
Well, I still think that still being somewhat new here, I find it that I still have the right to complain about how hot it is. You know, I haven't been here long enough to say that I've gotten used to it yet. So it's hot, man. It's bad. It's
all
bad.
good. Hey, look, I talk to people every day who are like, hey, you like to complain about the heat, but I'm done with the cold. And we get 3-4 months of like bitter cold outside, and I'd much rather shovel some sunshine. So hey, I get it. I've been out here since 1993. And I grew up in Colorado, so I know what it's like to shovel some snow. But you're out here this long, you just start to complain about stuff. That's just natural, I suppose.
Yeah, a margarita in the pool doesn't ever hurt anybody. So that's one positive.
No, we should do a live video from the pool one time.
Well, actually,
I'll let you do it because you do a bunch of burpees every day. I'm probably not in as good a shape as you.
Well, I think I've gotten the COVID-19, so I'm still trying to shed those 19 pounds that I've gained. I'm gonna have COVID. I need to increase my burpee.
I'm gonna have a COVID-19 margaritas.
Right.
That's what I'm gonna do. I want to get into first. We didn't get a chance to be here last Thursday. A lot of stuff going on. Apologize for missing you guys last week, but I want to share some really positive news regarding the channel in general, and I'll bring up the page here. We went over 1,000 subscribers just at the end of March, like a week ago, a little over a week ago, and that's huge. That's awesome for us. For us starting maybe like early last May, kind of going through and trying to put out some content for you guys. Having that has been great. We've heard from so many of you, and I just want to say a sincere thank you, to everybody who's been a follower, who's been a watcher, who's commented, reached out to us. bought a home through us, and even for everybody who's reached out, like on the rental stuff, like however we can help, like we appreciate you guys reaching out. It is fun for us to have so many people contacting and asking questions and trying to get answers, and hopefully we're doing the best that we can to help you guys. So wanted to say thank you, and you can chime in on that as well, Rudy, if you want.
Yeah, I think the big sponsorship should be coming here soon, right? With 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're still small compared to some of the other channels, but hey, I don't mind. Like our group that we have is fantastic, and if somebody's out there and would like to sponsor, I don't know, we don't need any sponsors probably, but it's all good. I think Rudy's getting phone calls. Rudy, you're so busy, you're getting calls right now, and we've got the delay.
If you guys see the delay, it's because I'm having to cancel my phone call, so I apologize for that.
That's all right. Everybody quit calling Rudy right now and call him after the call.
Right.
Call him after. That'll catch up. Avez jumping in here. Avez has been one of our followers for a long time, and yay, we are growing. Hi guys. Hello Avez. Always good to hear from you, and appreciate you being one of our first probably watchers and followers. So hopefully we get a chance to talk to you one day. We haven't had the chance to do that, but thank you so much for always chiming in. Rudy, you're going in and out, man. Everybody, stop calling Rudy. Can you hear me? Now Rudy can't even hear me. I can hear you, Rudy. Oh well. Let's see. I don't know if this will come in or out. Let's see. I had something going on with Ecamm. You know what? We might have to try this. Wait, can you hear me now, Rudy?
Yes, I can.
Okay. All right. With all our growth, we have some technical difficulties, I suppose.
Right. Yeah, it's all these viewers calling me right now.
Yeah. That's all right. We'll get through it. Hopefully you guys can roll with this for like a minute or two, or just hit fast forward when you get to the slow parts here and there. But Rudy, let's talk about some of the crazy stuff that's going on. Let's talk Cromford report. Let's talk market activity. Obviously, for most people that are watching what we're doing right now, a lot of the people who are watching these live calls are people that maybe we've spoke to over the phone or over Zoom. They have either been out here already and are looking to try to find a place, or will be out here soon. So let's talk about what's going on. What are you seeing right now?
Well, it really hasn't changed for the better, lack of a better word, I guess. No pun intended there, but it's still sizzling hot with the market, and it's unfortunately not showing signs of it declining on the buyer side. And when I say declining, meaning prices, bidding wars, the shortage of inventory, the high demand, and simply because rates are still historic lows. There's still a shortage of people that are listing their homes, and there's still a shortage of people listing their homes because they can't find something to buy. So
right.
It's not going to slow down. The economy's opening back up. People are going back to work. People are ready. There's a lot of pent up demand and spending from folks. So it's not going to slow down anytime soon. At least it doesn't look like it will.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that seems unsustainable. I think we have calls a lot of times where it's like, okay, well, how long can this last? Because and we'll bring up Cromford here. Rudy, can you see that at all?
Yes.
Let's see. I'm gonna do that later. I'm getting like requests to do updates while we're doing a live call on this thing. It's awesome. So we've got, for the first time in like a few weeks, we're dropping down on the index level below 500. So what does that mean? Well, not a lot, I don't think. I mean, 500 is still crazy levels. Now, it was like at 530, I think, in the beginning of March. So now it's slowly trickling down. But let's look at the kind of our market snapshot. And all the green arrows mean it's a seller's market. And we're not seeing any other, the only thing that's going down is the market index, which again is still at record highs. But active listings down. Listings under contract up. Active listings, excluding all the ones under contract, that's down. Pending listings up. So the total listings under contract. Sales per month is up. Sales per year is up. Like all this stuff, obviously going down to like pricing and all that. There's a couple other things. This kind of spells it out. 4,088 as far as active listings versus 13,000. So it's down almost 70% from last year and 9% from last month. What are active listings, including ones under contract, that's down almost 50% from last year. All this stuff, the supply levels are crazy. So that's what we're dealing with right now. And until we can get more supply or interest rates go up a little bit, then we're probably going to continue seeing this. There's got to be something that like causes some sort of little bit of shift that that allows buyers a little bit more of a ability to kind of sneak in there. Now, I have a few people that we have under contract that didn't have to go crazy over lists and only had to deal with like maybe 2 to 3 multiple offers. So it's not across the board. There are certain areas that are just like, hey, it's still active and things are still crazy, but it's not like every single deal is like 10 to 20 offers over list. But I don't know. Do you see anything on the positive side, Rudy?
No.
Okay.
For
yeah,
one,
no,
one,
we don't want to sugarcoat it.
No, and then I pulled up just now a letter that a builder here just issued. I don't know.
Is that the Fulton letter?
Yeah,
I've got it.
And I just want to very quickly read something.
I'll bring it up.
Perfect. Second paragraph. I mean, obviously there's a lot of information there, but
yep.
Yesterday we received notice that the LP Tech Shield / Radiant Barrier roof sheeting is no longer available. We currently have 1,100 homes under construction, 2/3 of which have no roofing solution as of today. Window production has been cut by 50% due to social distancing requirements in the factory. The list goes on and on and on. Unfortunately, in the current highly volatile environment, there's no way to accurately project when homes will be completed. There may be a 1-month delay or a 6+ month delay on home closings. Timelines change daily.
Yeah, and that's from Fulton Homes, which is one of the longest running and biggest builders here in Arizona. It's a local builder here in Arizona. They do an amazing job. That's a very well-run show over there. And if Fulton is having issues, then I guarantee that's hitting other builders. And I mean, we have several viewers that reach out to us who were lucky enough to get under contract on a build, because that's very hard for people to even do. And now they're just waiting, and people are waiting quite a while to have their house done because of all these shortages and costs going up for the builders. I haven't heard this yet in Arizona, but I did start seeing, an agent who I follow in Austin. They talked about builders just straight up canceling contracts on people. I mean, I can't imagine. That happened back in 2006, 2006 and 7 here, where builders were just canceling contracts on people, and people were out of luck. Because builders were basically saying, hey, we need to make more money on these deals. So I hope that we don't see that here, but that's, if that starts happening in other areas of the country, again, Arizona is not the only one going through all this, you guys, and I'm sure you know it. We hear from everybody, but, it's one of those things. It's like with all this bad news, Rudy, like I still want people to come out and look around and like, hey, let's see what we can do for you. And we'll talk through it and make sure that like it's the right decision for you. But yeah, it's tricky right now.
Well, I mean, and you and I have helped numerous viewers of our channel win offers.
Yeah.
We're helping 2 of them this month. We helped someone last month. We helped someone a prior month after that, and we have a list of folks that we're currently helping. So don't take it lightly when I say this. Is that having the right team on your side has never been more important than it is today, and you have to choose your partners very, very carefully. Obviously, Greg and I, we take this very seriously. We take your success very seriously. So that is one of the best recommendations, apart from the get pre-qualified, have money, be prepared, all that good stuff that you obviously already know, is who's on your side. And a lot of people can talk the talk, but who's really walking the walk? And I think that's where you need to decide who you want on your side, because it's rough out there. You want some fighters out there that are going to be on your side, that are going to fight for you.
Well, and have some inside knowledge. I mean, I think that's where we try to do the best we can, is like, number one, communication with everybody out there, and that's like across the board through every single city within the metro area as far as what's going on, because a lot of thing is location by location. You know, I was out in East Mesa a couple weeks ago helping one of our buyers out there. They were only getting like a couple offers in on some of the Eastmark properties, like because they had like a little bit of an influx in listings. So you could have got a deal done maybe, you know, right around list, maybe a little bit over, and been happy, versus areas like Gilbert and Chandler, and probably some areas in Scottsdale that are still hitting, you know, 50K to 100K over list price, depending on what the situation is in the neighborhood. I know I'm dealing with it on my own. I've talked to a lot of people about my wife and I's situation, and we're still trying to find a home up in Flagstaff. That has been insane and impossible, and I'm getting outbid like crazy there, and that's with even myself trying to bid, you know, 40 over. It's hard. We're trying to do the best we can. We're not winning on our end either, but we can communicate and find out what's going on with the agents. Rudy does an amazing job of communicating as well, and we really do the best we can of giving you the best shot, unless there's some crazy person who's like, hey, I've got cash and I'm going to waive every single contingency and go over.
Yeah, and those are obviously situations where the truth of the matter is it's very hard to win against someone that's paying cash above list, that's just willy-nilly, just do whatever you want.
Inspections, waiving appraisals, waiving, you know, it's like, okay.
Yeah, and quite frankly, I would not want to advise someone to try to even attempt to beat somebody that's willing to offer that. That's not, in my opinion, the most fiscally responsible approach. So yeah, no, and I don't, and obviously, Greg, we don't mean to make this video so much doom and gloom. It's reality. It's reality. I mean, it is, and it's not just here. It's like we're literally almost every single major market in the country is experiencing this. I mean, for our viewers that live in other states, you're probably seeing it in your state too. So. It's just a matter of kind of pick your poison, be prepared, and just go in for the ride. And like I said, have the right team. And then, you know, one of the crazy things that I just saw from the Cromford report is the average sales price right now in the Phoenix metro area has finally surpassed $500,000. It's at $502,078. That's the average sales price. And this time last year, it was at $371,000.
Interesting.
So $130,000, and that's also due to more of the more expensive homes being sold than homes that are less expensive, just because there's less inventory of the lesser priced homes. So that's another thing too to keep in mind.
Yeah, and look, it goes back to, is it sustainable? Can we do? I don't think this is sustainable. You know, is it going to cause a crash? I mean, if you guys are on YouTube, you're probably seeing. I know because of all the channels I follow, and I like to try to be as well versed and as educated on what the market is. Because look, like, people are asking us all the time, like, would you buy right now? What do you think? What do you think the market's going to do? And again, we talk about this all the time. I'd like to have the crystal ball. I don't. I'm trying to look at all the numbers, and Rudy and I go through Cromford every week and be like, hey, what are the numbers telling us? What is just like the general, like, people that don't have a reason to, have one direction or the other. It's like, we want to get that and pass it on to you guys. So I'm trying to figure out, like, how does it kind of slow down? Do interest rates maybe perk up a little bit? Everybody's talking about inflation right now. We're finding that because of the stock market has gone crazy over the last 4 to 5 years. And so maybe people had money in the stock market. They're like, hey, I don't think the stock market's going to continue to go like this, so I'd rather take my money out now and put it into real estate. That's like a big thing. So we're seeing a lot of that. We're seeing a lot of opinions out there on how this is going to crumble. But I'm really looking for, and if anybody has seen it, please share, because I'm looking for real concrete information that would actually say, hey, look, this is something where next year the prices are going to be significantly less. Right now, I don't see it. I could see a slowdown. I can see things like, hey, look, there's only a certain amount of buyers that can play in this game, so that slows things down. But Rudy, have you seen anything that like, hey, that gives you a little bit of pause to say, here's what I would consider if I was buying?
Well, I think your point on the stock market is an interesting one, in that I could see that a lot of people that have made quite a bit of money over the last 5, 6, 7, 10 years in the stock market are probably a little weary and would like to make their money or cash in on their earnings and then dump it, or not dump, that's not the right word, but use it for real estate or other investments. On the flip side of that, there's a lot of cash still sitting on the table as it relates to that. I remember about a month ago seeing a report on the news that there's a lot of people that have just excess cash, almost for the same reason, that they don't want to jump into the stock market because they're weary that it might somehow crash or there might be some sort of correction. So I also wonder if those same people are also the ones that are using their cash to put it into real estate or other investments as well. So it'd be interesting to see kind of how the dynamics pan out here going into the end of the year, because I think in the short term, signs are pointing towards inflation because, again, the economy is going to be picking back up. So that's an inflationary, there's an inflationary response to that. But then once it kind of subsides a little bit, people are back at work, that pent up demand just slows down a little bit because people are now out. If that will then cause rates to go back down a little bit. And that's what some experts are predicting. So it could be that going into the end of the year, we'll start seeing rates come back down if they do go up in the short term. So then that could possibly even create more of a demand wave going into 2022.
Yeah.
So for a couple of different reasons, some of those that I've mentioned, I just don't see the signs pointing to it slowing down that much.
Well, and the other thing, like when people talk about, because again, there's bubble videos out there like crazy. We Chip and I tried to do one because we and this was not where we are like, hey, be careful, or we tried to talk about the differences and the major differences between what we went through back in 2007, 8, 9 versus now. And like we keep telling people, like people are going in and they're paying way over list with cash, and they're waiving appraisals, and the way they can do that, even when they're financing, is with cash. People are invested in these properties. They're not gonna foreclose and go away when the prices go down. Like they're not just gonna walk. So that right there in itself is like, compared to what last time was when we had this crash and the bubble popping. Like that was a bunch of people who were buying homes with 0% down, and basically could get a loan for whatever, and weren't living in the properties, and then decided once that they couldn't make the payment anymore, they just walked away because they had nothing to lose. That's a totally different story than what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, and then speaking of foreclosures or possibly being underwater, the CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, they announced that they're pushing for foreclosures to be delayed until December 31st of 2021. So I can't remember if it's already been passed that mortgage companies cannot foreclose until this January 1st of 2022 or not. But that could be something to just keep an eye out going into January of next year, leading up to the end of the year, because if you can't get foreclosed on, then, obviously more reason for us to believe that something could happen in January, or for more reason for us to think that there could be maybe more inventory that could potentially come up in January. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens there.
What I'm trying to, let me see here. There's a note. There's a note on Cromper that says, once borrowers start emerging from forbearance, we may see some degree of improvement to the abysmal supply shortage. However, indications from the lending industry suggest that an increase in supply will be tiny, I've got this block, compared to the flood of distressed homes that hit the market between 2007 and 2013. We expect to see price rises slowing a little bit after June 2021, but there are currently no indications that a change in the direction of those prices is likely. So I think this is where I like following Cromford and kind of keeping an eye on that, because they do follow. It's like, okay, how many homes are potentially either in forbearance or are still in pre-foreclosure? Because if they're in you can tell if they're in pre-foreclosure and people aren't making their payments, and kind of get an idea of like, hey, there's a lot of people in pre-foreclosure that once we have this lift of allowing banks to foreclose, then the floodgates could open. And I don't think we're seeing that right now.
And I don't think that, and this is just my personal opinion, I just don't think that the government, the mortgage companies, the servicers will allow that to happen. I'm not saying that people will not get foreclosed on, because obviously that's just part of the economy that's going to happen. Yeah. But I have a feeling, just from what I've been seeing when the pandemic started and how involved the Fed and the government was in sustaining the economy as best as possible, I just don't see on January the 1st a bunch of people that are now eligible to be foreclosed on getting a letter in the mail. Just imagine what kind of impact and how catastrophic that would be to the economy if now all of a sudden these people are being put out in the streets. I just don't see that happening. But again, it's above my pay grade. I don't make those decisions. Yeah,
I mean, I think everybody knows that, like, even when people have good intentions, sometimes people make bad decisions, and then the rest of us are affected negatively by it. So we're who knows what could happen that could cause some stuff. I think everybody's just trying to do the best they can to avoid it. But we just kind of touched on this before. I know this is kind of gets to be somewhat old news, but I think people need to know this when they're coming in, because if you are thinking about it, we want to set expectations properly for you, so that you're, number one, you don't have your mind completely set, and you're like, hey, I've got this idea that I'm going to come and I'm going to find this particular home. Then Arizona is, I can get this house for this much and it'll be no problem. We might not be as easy as you think. We're going to try to make it as smooth and easy as possible, but we want to prep you so that you don't change and upend your entire life before really talking to us and making sure that what you want to do, we can help you do.
Yeah, 100%. That you hit it spot on, Greg. Before you make any sort of big decisions back home, especially putting your house for sale or actually selling your house, you need to talk to us, and also make sure that you get the lay of the land here. Obviously, I mean, I think that goes without saying, but Yes, that's just something worth mentioning.
Yeah, no, you might not hear from everybody, and again, that's why we have this stuff on YouTube, is because there's a lot of people that'll be like, hey, come on down, we'll sell you on whatever. That's not what our goal is. We're here to educate and help and make it a winning process for you, if possible.
Yeah, having the right team on your side.
Rudy, we're coming up on 10:30 here. We don't have any other questions coming in right now. Anything you want to leave people with?
It's still a good time to come right now, weather-wise. The weather is actually, despite it being 99 last Sunday, it's been actually very pleasant here throughout the day. Yes, It's still getting a little warm, but it's still nice. Don't miss out. Don't wait until May, June, July.
and actually, it was nice this week because Rudy and I, we actually got to meet up earlier in the week on Tuesday. We shot another video together out on location. It was beautiful weather. And it was great. Yeah, I loved it. We had a nice little breeze. We hit up Central Scottsdale. We're going to be doing a video on Central Scottsdale for you guys. We did that, number one, because it's super close for us and we like doing it. Plus, it's a great area. But we're going to try to get out to a lot of areas, hit East Valley, West Valley, and try to hopefully get more content out on location. Rudy and I together kind of talking about it. Hopefully, Chip and I will be able to do some more stuff soon too, and get more of the tours to you. So hopefully we'll have more coming. So keep an eye for that. Rudy, I'll let you go. Appreciate you coming and joining as always, and giving us all your insight. If anybody has any questions, feel free to contact either one of us. I'll put our contact info back up on screen here. Always love to hear from you guys. Again, thank you for being watching and supporting the channel as always. Rudy, until next time, we'll catch you on the next one, and have a good Thursday. Have a good weekend.
Thanks, Greg. You too.